Chapter 12. Auxiliary Verbs. Let's learn auxiliary verbs. The word auxiliary means helping. An auxiliary verb is a helping verb which, along with a main verb, fulfills and completes the function of a verb in a particular sentence. The main verb and the auxiliary verb together assume a form in accordance of the tense which is in use in the sentence. It is also used to form an interrogative or a negative sentence. The three most important auxiliary verbs are be, have, and do. They are used with main verbs to make tenses, passive forms, questions, and negatives. For example, Sana has brought some cheese sandwiches. The clerk has not given him the required files. Julie is writing a grammar book. In the given sentences, all the highlighted words are auxiliary verbs. Action verbs and linking verbs are verbs that connect a subject to its complement. They can accompany auxiliary verbs. For example, Jacob is auxiliary running fast. He is linking in a hurry. In the second part, is stands alone and is not an auxiliary verb but a main verb. Remember, action verbs describe activities and linking verbs describe conditions. Be. The auxiliary be is used in the formation of continuous tenses. For example, he is walking. In the formation of passives, for example, the gate was opened to indicate a plan, arrangement, or agreement. For example, I am to meet him tomorrow. To denote command, for example, you are to write your name at the top of each sheet of paper. Have. The auxiliary have is used in the formation of perfect tenses. For example, he has worked. With infinitive to indicate obligation. For example, I have to be there by 5 o'clock. To express obligation in the past, for example, I had to be there by 5 o'clock. In negatives and questions with do, does, and did. For example, they don't have to go. Do they have to go? Do. The auxiliary do is used to form the negative and the interrogative of the simple present and simple past tenses of main verbs. For example, he did not work. Did he work? To avoid repetition of a previous main verb. For example, you met him, didn't you? She sings well. Yes, she does. To emphasize the affirmative nature of a sentence. For example, you do look pale. I told him not to go, but he did go. In the imperative, to make a request or an invitation more persuasive. For example, do be quiet. Oh, do come. It's going to be fun. Let's learn modal auxiliary verbs. Modals are auxiliary verbs other than the three main auxiliary verbs, have, do, and be. They are used before main verbs to express meanings such as permission, possibility, certainty, and necessity. Modals never change their form, do not take s in the third person singular form. They have no infinitive or ing forms. Some common modals are can, may, could, might, will, shall, should, would. Can. Can is generally used to express an ability. For example, I can open the door though it is jammed. Can you give me 10 minutes? In interrogative and negative sentences, for example, can this be true? It cannot be true. May. May is used to express possibility in affirmative sentences. For example, it may rain tomorrow. He may be at home. To express a positive wish, for example, may you both have a happy married life. May you achieve great success. To ask for permission, for example, may I take your leave? May I have the book? Could and might. Could and might are the past tense form of can and may, respectively. For example, I could cross that hill in my younger days shows ability. We thought you might take the ferry back home shows possibility. He said we might take the last train home shows permission. Will. Will is used to talk about future. For example, hopefully we will have a sunny day tomorrow. I will never come here again. To ask or order someone to do something. For example, will you make me a cup of tea? Will you stop pulling the dog's tail? Will is used with second and third person pronouns you, he, she, it, they, and is followed by the infinitive of another verb. Shall. Shall is used to make suggestions, offers, or seek advice. For example, shall I roll down the window? I shall be there to help you. Shall is used with the first person, I, we, to talk about the future. Should. Should is used to make suggestions and give advice. For example, I think you should take a few days off. You should have apologized earlier. To talk about past, for example, he should have told the truth about what he saw. You should not have said to me. To talk about an obligation, for example, you should be wearing your seatbelt. We should respect our parents and teachers. To talk about probability and an expectation, for example, are you ready? The train should be here soon. Let's call Harry. He should have finished work by now. Would. Would is generally used to express wishful thinking and make polite offers. For example, if I were the king, I would build houses for everyone. I would travel to the Andes Mountains if I had the money. To tell or ask someone to do something in a polite way. For example, would you like to have some tea? Would you want me to arrange for the transport? Talk about past. For example, even as a girl, she knew that she would succeed in life. I thought it would rain, so I brought my raincoat along. Remember, to is never used after should, would, or could. For example, you should to see that great film. It's wrong. I would to buy a new dress if I like it. Wrong. We could to go for a picnic in this fine weather. Wrong.